Coming up on BCN today, Canada finally returns to World Junior Hockey Championship glory with a victory over Russia. And a violent weekend in Calgary affects police response times. Plus, tensions continue to mount in the Middle East while Canadian Iranians celebrate.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, thanks for joining us on this first Monday of 2020. Canada is gold once again after beating out the Russians in the 2020 World Junior Hockey Championship, which wrapped up Sunday in the Czech Republic. After losing 6-0 to Russia earlier in the tournament, Canada made a thrilling comeback, trailing 3-1 in the third period. The Canadians scored 3 straight unanswered goals, and Akil Thomas scored with a 3-minute and 58 seconds left in the third period to secure a 4-3 victory for the country. It's the 18th title at the annual Under-20 tournament. Lethbridge Hurricanes' Dylan Cousins and Kalen Addison were among the roster. Captain Barrett Hayton hurt his shoulder in Saturday's semifinal win, but managed to fight through the pain and lead his team.
I mean, it's hard to put into words. It's just such a good feeling. You know, we dealt with so much adversity in this tournament, and, you know, the boys just pushed through. They battled hard, and, you know, we came out on top. You know, they had all those power plays. Our penalty kill was huge for us there. You know, they stepped up, and, you know, we just knew that if we were just going to play like that the whole game, it wasn't going to be good. So we had to watch our sticks more, watch us holding them, and, you know, just play hockey.
You know, it was just such big excitement. You know, everyone cheering on the bench, and I think it's going to be something that we're all going to remember for the rest of our lives. And it feels awesome. So at one point, I don't think I was able to breathe, and I was losing my voice. It's just a great feeling. You know, it's, you know, I only get this once, twice in a lifetime, and for me, you know, to win it 1 out of 2 times, you know, I feel really grateful for that.
Definitely some pain, but when you're out there in that atmosphere, you don't really feel much. You just play. You're so much in the moment. You don't really feel those injuries. Yeah, definitely feels good right now.
Did it hurt to lift the trophy?
No, no, that thing was light as a feather.
Usually before games I'm super nervous, especially, you know, like a game like today. And today I didn't. I felt cool, wasn't nervous. You know, in the third there, obviously, you know, time was ticking, and I just kind of had a feeling that Dale was going to call my name, and luckily he did. And I got an opportunity, I scored, and it just felt unreal. And you know, after the game, Dale mentioned that he thought I was going to score. That's why he put me out there.
You know, I was just looking for some firepower, and I seen him score a lot of goals because he plays in our league, and I scouted him under midget. He has a great hands, great knack to score. So I had a hunch.
He didn't really get too many opportunities throughout the tournament, and obviously everyone knows how good of a player he is. So Dale trusted him in the final minutes and threw him out there, and he showed why.
You know, our team's been playing really good ever since the Russia game, and then you know, just for us to you know finish it off with gold, it's unbelievable.
It was a violent weekend in Calgary. Calgary police warned yesterday that response times would be affected after 3 deaths in the span of just 12 hours. The homicide unit is investigating the death of a man who was stabbed just south of the downtown core yesterday morning. Police say it doesn't appear to be linked to Saturday night's shooting in Saddle Ridge that left 1 man dead and another in life-threatening condition. The homicide unit is also investigating after a body was found in Fish Creek Provincial Park yesterday morning. According to police, the body was engulfed in flames when officers arrived, but they say they don't know yet if the death is criminal or was a suicide. A candlelight vigil drew in about 150 supporters Friday night at Winston Churchill High School to bring awareness to the disappearance of Marshall Iwasa, who was last seen in Lethbridge November 17th. Friday was his 27th birthday. Iwasa's truck was found burnt out in the BC backcountry near Pemberton a week after his disappearance. Family members say they won't give up and are hoping to expand the search across Canada. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Iwasa is asked to contact the Lethbridge Police. RCMP and Cardston have laid charges after a peace officer was threatened with a knife. Police say the incident occurred around 6 p.m. on December 31st outside the RCMP detachment. Fortunately, there were no injuries. 24-year-old Brendan Kirk-Eagle, speaker of standoff, is facing numerous charges and will appear in Cardston court today. Well, here's a sign that the holidays are over. The City of Lethbridge Christmas Tree Collection Program will be held this Saturday, January 11th. For the past 26 years, the city has partnered annually with the local youth group to ensure that Christmas trees continue to give after the holiday season. Since the program began, more than 80,000 natural Christmas trees have been diverted from the landfill and turned into environmentally friendly mulch. Residents can choose to reduce waste and support local youth by participating in the program. Christmas trees should be visible, stripped of all decorations, and out by 7 a.m. on January 11th to be collected. Trees should be placed by the regular garbage collection location, but away from the blue and black carts. A local youth group will be collecting Christmas trees from the entire city. Depending on weather and equipment, the collection may happen over a few days. Commercial and residential property owners in Lethbridge will be receiving their property assessment notices in the mail this week. The assessments are used to determine how much your property will be taxed this year. If you don't receive your notice by January 13th, the city advises to call 311. Property owners have 60 days to file an appeal if they are not satisfied with the assessment. And here's a sure sign that summer is coming. It seems hard to believe, but this week, Parks Canada will start taking reservations for campsites over the summer, beginning in Alberta with Jasper National Park, taking bookings on Tuesday. Waterton Lakes National Park will open its reservations this Wednesday with their operating season starting April 10th. However, the reservable period won't begin until May 8th. And east of Medicine Hat, Grasslands National Park will take online reservations as of this Thursday. Ontario's cannabis distributor says dozens of new marijuana products will be available in retail shops starting today, but supplies will be limited. The Ontario Cannabis Store unveiled 59 new items, including a variety of vapes, edibles, and a tea. The products will be available in the province's legal cannabis retail stores starting next week and on the OCS website on January 16th. The distributor estimates that products will be in short supply until March as manufacturers ramp up production to meet the demand.
We're very excited today to introduce to you the first new product category products that will be available in Ontario starting next week. This morning we started to sell the products that you will see here today to our authorized retail store partners. Deliveries will begin on Monday and they will get deliveries through the week. And we expect that they will put products on their shelves as quickly as possible thereafter. We know that consumers want these products. They want an alternative to what they're getting in the legal market. They want products that are legal, tested, regulated, and traceable. And these products are going to come with a lot more product information than what consumers are used to in the legal market.
New content will be inclusive of important information to consider for responsible use of products such as potency, concentration, and how they differ from product purchased from the illegal market.
The initial deliveries will include a large number of vapes, some edibles, and a brand of tea. The OCS continues to support the broadest and deepest catalog assortment across the country. And across all categories, especially in edibles, beverages, and topicals, we expect that we will have improved availability in the weeks and months ahead. The big piece is education and the understanding that a lot of the illegal market product has not been tested, has not been verified through our QA process or any QA process for that matter. This also includes the distribution of THC across the product. Is it uniform or not? So there's a number of factors where when we talk about quality and quality assurance of the legalized product versus illegal product, that we've got the assurance and consumers have the assurance that the product produced will be what they're expecting.
Andrew Scheer's replacement as leader of the federal Conservatives will be decided in Toronto on June 27th. The party announced the date for this leadership contest, which is expected to receive mixed results from party supporters. Some have been calling for an earlier vote in order to be better prepared to defeat the Liberal minority government. Among those considering a leadership run are current MPs Erin O'Toole and Pierre Poilievre, former Quebec Premier Jean Charest, former interim party leader Rona Ambrose, and former cabinet minister Peter MacKay. Iran's foreign minister is challenging U.S. President Donald Trump in a tweet. Mohammad Javad Zarif shared photos from the massive crowds in Tehran mourning the Iranian commander killed by a U.S. drone strike. He urges Trump to distance himself from his advisors who seek confrontation with Iran and reiterated Iran's stance that the U.S. military should be expelled from the Middle East. Trump is threatening to attack Iranian cultural sites if the country goes through with its vow of revenge for General Qasem Soleimani's death. Meanwhile, several dozen Iranian Canadians danced, cheered, and celebrated in Toronto in the wake of the death of the top general in Iran. An American airstrike on Thursday in Baghdad, authorized by President Donald Trump, killed General Qasem Soleimani, believed to be responsible for plotting attacks against American personnel. Iran's supreme leader vowed a harsh retaliation, but for those who showed up to dance in a square in North Toronto Friday afternoon, they hoped for a rebirth of their home country. They chanted regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
By the people of Iran! Regime change in Iran! By the people.
We are here to support the Iranian uprising against the regime. It's a terrorist regime. We are going to ask international governments, all government, to stop appeasing Iranian regime. The more appeasement, the more blood. I believe every Iranian, Iraqi, Lebanon, Yemeni, Syrian, the real people, not the regime, so happy to see this man is killed. We are so delighted to see this man is eliminated. He was a master terrorist.
Elimination of the terrorism is bringing peace and hope to people. That means getting rid of criminals. So that means Iran regime hands are tied with the sanction that President Trump has imposed in Iran. Much better. What they are doing it is amazing. It's working very well because this is helping Iranian people. This is helping Middle East. This is helping to get rid of terrorist regime in Iran. So protesters in Iran also, they want regime change in Iran. We are hoping for that. We are trying for that. Units of resistance in Iran are working towards that. And we are their voice out of Iran. This is all we can do. To celebrate for them, to cry with them.
Having him gone, people will feel that, okay, we are not alone. There are people, their world has come together and putting pressure on this government, on these elements of the atrocities, and they can come out and speak out their mind and cause a democratic process to happen in Iran.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison says the military is attempting to get food, fuel, and water to burned out communities, while engineers are working to reopen roads and resupply evacuation centers. Meantime, teams have arrived at an island wildlife refuge to help euthanize livestock and wild animals injured in the wildfires. Communities have gotten some relief from battling the deadly blazes with rain and cooler temperatures over the weekend, but officials say Australia's record-breaking wildfire season is nowhere near its end. Meanwhile, another team of Alberta wildfire specialists jumped on a plane to Australia over the weekend to assist with the firefighting efforts. This is the fourth deployment from Canada, with yet another group scheduled to leave today. Well, a mix of sun and cloud with 30% chance of flurries today. That wind could be gusting 40 to 60 kilometers per hour, though. A look at our weather is coming up right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Here's a look at our weather highlights for today in Lethbridge. We are going to be seeing a 30% chance of flurries with a high of 3 degrees, but a mix of sun and cloud, and a low going down to -8 overnight. A high of -4 tomorrow, and flurries look like they're going to be rearing their heads back in the forecast for tomorrow. Looking ahead to the 5-day forecast, Wednesday we're going to be seeing a high of 4 degrees, but a high of only -14 on Thursday. That should be rising to -2 by Friday, and then the weekend looks like it's going to be pretty chilly with -19 as the high for both Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to be seeing a chance of flurries as well this weekend coming up. The average high and lows for this time of year, according to the almanac, they tell us that -2 should be the high and -14 should be the lowest temperature. The highest temperature on this day was in 2003. It was 13 degrees, and the lowest was -35. That was back in 1996. The sun rose this morning at 8:28 a.m. and we'll be setting this afternoon at 4:46 p.m. And it seems like ever since we reached our winter solstice that those days have been speeding up a little bit as far as the sunrise going down later and later. Victoria and Vancouver today will see some rain with highs of 8 and 6. Calgary's high is -2. Edmonton's high is -4 today. Both of those cities will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Saskatoon will see a high of -4. -3 is expected in Regina, and a high of only -1 is expected in Winnipeg. And all three of those regions should be seeing a little bit of flurry activity today across the prairies. As we look over to Toronto and Ottawa, we're going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud in those cities, but a high of 2 degrees in Toronto, high of -2 in Ottawa today, and a high of -6 in Montreal. Montreal could be seeing some flurry activity as well. Looking over to Atlantic Canada, Fredericton will see a high of -7 with flurries. Halifax should be seeing a high of -4, and -5 is the high today in Charlottetown. A -1 is the high over in St. John's. All of these cities today expecting snow across the whole Atlantic region. That's your forecast. Here's a look at what's coming up in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. Blankets for Canada Lethbridge meets Thursdays from 10 a.m. to noon at Southminster United Church. Share your knitting and crocheting skills to keep those who are in need in our community warm. Donations of yarn and financial gifts are greatly appreciated and can be dropped off at the church. For more information, visit blanketsforcanada.ca or call 403-329-6586. Do you or someone you love have a gambling problem? Is it causing chaos in your life and relationships? Gamblers Anonymous holds weekly meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 408 13th Street North. For more information and meeting times, call 403-331-0822. And that's your Bridge City News community calendar.
Open Doors is a ministry helping to restore hope and rebuild lives for thousands of Syrian Christians. And one woman and her son in particular have leaned on them for support following the kidnapping of her husband in Syria. She says he was targeted because he's Christian. In 2013, Robert was traveling for work when his bus was stopped by Islamic militants. Robert and another Christian were singled out and marched off the bus. He's not been seen since.
أنا ارتبطت بسنة 2011 واتجوزت كمان بسنة 2011 وولدت ابني ب 2012 وخطف جوزي ب 2013. أبو حبيبي يلا قوم قوم نقعد نصلي أنا وأنت قوم. إنه بالمولود من على أبو لما خلق إنه هو صبي انبسطنا كتير. هلا هو أحلامنا أنا وجوزي كانت إنه شلون إنه نأسس بيت ملك لإلنا، وتاني شغلة إنه نربي ابننا على تربية صالحة. هذا هو بس حلمنا كان. وشلون يعني هو كان جوزي بالشارع عند رزق الله مرضى عن قطع تبديل صناعية، إنه يروح يجيب له مصاري من القامشلي مليونين ليرة. يعني بس هو كان أرمني مسيحي، الباقي كلهم إسلام الشغيل اللي عنده. قام القصة إنه عبقول له بدك تأسلم لروبير. روبير يقول لهم لا أنا ما عندي غير الله وبس. قام جوزي طلع وراح ما رجع. يعني صعب تربية الصبي لحالي، كتير صعب. صار العالم شو بقول لي روح اشتغلي وين اروح انا اشتغل وين بعرف ابني. هلا بصراحة انا بستلم المعونة من راعي صالح بس كل 2.5 شهر مرة وحدة باخدها. أول شي تاني شغلة حق المازوت أخدته من عند أخت أغنى، عطتني مصاري 37,500. هيك ظلموني كتير دا أنظلم. إذا الكنيسة ما ساعدتني بدي أنظلم. أفراها بمدارس الأحد بيقول لي ماما إمتى بده يصير يوم الجمعة؟ بدي أروح على مدرسة الأحد. بقول له مشان شو؟ بيقول لي مشان أتعلم عن يسوع. بيروح كتير بينبسط، كتير بينبسط هونيك مع أخت أغنى. الله كتير كبير، وبعدين بقول يا رب مثل ما انت بدك لتكن مشيئتك يا رب، بس بطلب منك بس ترجعلي جوزي بخير وسلام.
The holidays and post-holiday season can often be depressing to some, especially with a long, cold January and February before us. Up next, Dr. Greg Jantz speaks about dealing with depression and anxiety. That's coming up in the second half of our show, right after this short break.